this kind of reform mandate, we've been very skeptical of this narrative, because we know and understand the ideological origins and the intellectual traditions that the ANC is using to inform its policy.
Please go check out rebelstoreza.com. Their winter range is now available. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Real Moments. Real Moments are sections from longer interviews done on my channel that I think you guys might find interesting. Your real moment is in. Isn't this communism?
Well, we spend a lot of time with our clients trying to convey the idea that a lot of the decisions that are made by policymakers, by politicians, when you are a business person and you encounter a problem, or you're wanting to offer a product or a service, you think in terms of, what does the market need? What problem am I trying to fulfill or solve? How can I satisfy the interests of my customers? And I think a lot of business people tend to project this way of thinking onto government. And one of the refrains that we hear is, but surely the government wouldn't seize private property. They know that it's an important part of a market economy, and that investment would dry up. But surely they wouldn't go after the private healthcare sector, because that is a center of excellence and it already serves 6 or 7 million people. It could expand its reach, but we have a medical tourism industry, and foreigners value this, and so do we, and this is the bedrock of the middle class. So there are many examples like this. And what we often say to our clients is, well, don't underestimate the power of ideology. And if you go back in time and observe the history of the ANC started in the early 20th century, about, I think it was 1912, and it was essentially a middle-class black intellectual movement, which was a kind of an African nationalist in character. It wanted to extend rights to black Africans. That was Sol Plaatje, Pixley Seme, those individuals. But then in the 1940s, with the rise of the Youth League, Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, Oliver Tambo, they radicalized the ANC, made it much more of a mass-based movement. That's when you had the Defiance campaigns and much more kind of militant, but still passive resistance. That kind of changed in the 1960s with the introduction of Mkhonto weSizwe.
While I have you here, why don't you please go down in the description below and check out Support My Channel, where you can support me for as little as 40 Rand a month. And also you get some perks, but you got to use the Quicket link to get access to these perks. Again, links in the description below. And don't forget, subscribing is always free.
And essentially what the National Party did was, through the Suppression of Communism Act, through various restrictions on black political participation, they drove the liberation movements abroad and into the awaiting arms of the Soviet Union. So by the time of 1968, the Morogoro Conference in Tanzania, which the ANC held in exile, South African Communist Party by that point had firmly established itself as the key kind of strategic backers of the ANC, and the Soviet Union was supplying arms, intelligence to MK as well. And the party deliberately took a policy trajectory of the National Democratic Revolution, which is essentially socialist in character, that the state should be the central organizing actor in society, and that should be used to liberate the people. And so the democratic transition amongst many ANC thinkers was seen as a preemptory step, was the bourgeois stage of the revolution, around getting rid of the apartheid regime. But many ANC strategists, and this is not just conspiracy theorizing, this is in black and white on the ANC's website, on countless numbers of ANC documents. The NDR is the guiding light of the party in terms of its intellectual trajectory. But then the implementation of that is sometimes not according to script. ANC is also, disaggregating its. We spoke about some of the resources problems. There's factionalism within the party. There's contestation over patronage. But in terms of the policy thinking and the senior echelons of the party, the SACP still plays a very dominant role. Many of their key figures are in cabinet, and their intellectual influence over the party is still very strong. So, I think that is quite different to what more mainstream analysts are going to be writing about and expressing. That's why this idea of the new dawn, this kind of reform mandate, we've been very skeptical of this narrative, because we know and understand the ideological origins and the intellectual traditions that the ANC is using to inform its policy decisions. And that's why when you look at things like trade protectionism, so the Department of Trade and Industry is putting all sorts of tariffs and trade barriers on goods, trying to create a siege economy and close off South Africa from the rest of the world. Why energy policy is so centralized, why we have to have this one vertically integrated energy utility, Eskom. Doesn't matter if it doesn't work, but this is the command center, and that reflects that kind of command and control philosophy that underpins a lot of socialist ideas. So that helps you to kind of understand the environment and why the ANC acts in the way that it does.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your real moment. I really hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please feel free to share it with your friends, family, or whoever you think might find it interesting. Give the video a like. It goes a long way to supporting the channel and helping it grow. And this is your second reminder to please subscribe to my channel. I've got a lot more content coming your way. And please go check out the Telegram channel. It's a channel, not a group. You just get notified of all the upcoming uploads and live streams on this channel. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.